I personally think that sometimes men only need three things to become unstoppable, and that's God, strength, and health. I think if you take everything away from a man, you can try to break him, you can try to destroy him. But if he has God, strength, and health, he becomes unstoppable. You know, and I think this first needs to be dealt. The only way we can tackle this topic is to first look at your submission to God. How how yielded are you when it comes to God? How submitted are you when it comes to God? Are you childlike enough to run to God whenever you fall? And I think this is a hard topic for a lot of men to understand. Whenever they hear childlike energy, they think, oh no, so I must be childish, or I must be, no, no, no. But I think that is the point. If you want to be a strong man, if you want to be unstoppable, if you want to be a king as a man, I think the most important thing is to be childlike before God. The ability to run to God, lay on the floor and say, God, help me. Prostrate yourself. Lord, I cannot do this. Admitting your weakness, admitting your limitations as a human being. I think that's one of the key strengths or the key things that a lot of men are missing. Because a lot of men nowadays, they have everything figured out, right? They have all the cars, all the money, great body, they eat right. But when it comes to their submission to God, that is the weak part. And I think that is the part that Satan takes advantage of. You know, we see in the Bible with the story of Samson, the strongest men to ever live have defeated 1,000 people with just a donkey's jawbone. But what happened? His heart turned away from God once. He fell into lust, and that was it. Solomon, the wisest man. His heart turned away from God once, got destroyed. I think that goes to show us how much us as men of God, how much spiritual battle that we can be exposed to, how much spiritual attack we can be exposed to as men if once the moment our hearts turn away from God, the moment our focus turns away from God. And Hebrews chapter 12 explains it very well. It says, fixing your eyes onto Jesus, fixing your eyes onto him. The moment we take our eyes off Jesus, that's when we sink. When Peter was looking at Jesus Christ walking on the water, as soon as he was focusing on the storm, as soon as his focus was away from Jesus, he sank. So it is important for a man to have power. It is important for a man to have strength, to have health. It is one of the most fundamental tools you can have in your journey to become a strong man, in your journey to become a good, God-fearing man of God, building your life, building your empire, building your businesses. It is a good thing. But those things mean nothing if you're not submitted under Christ. Those things mean nothing if you're not submitted under the will of God. Those things mean nothing if you're not childlike to God. Your ability to just run to God when you fall, your ability to you're so in tune with God that nothing will destroy you. You're so in tune with God. You're so in tuned that your discernment is in tune. Your discernment is so enhanced that nothing can destroy you, even if challenges come, because challenges will come as men. Especially if we're in a position of leadership, challenges will come. Challenges will come. The devil will try to tempt you. The devil will try to destroy you. But your ability to run to God, just as a child runs to his mother when, after he falls, he runs to his mother and say, "Mom, I fell." Then he's crying and stuff. Can you do that when you fall? Can you do that when you face trouble? I think a lot of the problem with a lot of men is they battle with pride. I can do this on my own. I can fix this. I can solve this problem on my own, and only to find out that you are putting yourself deeper into deeper problems. But are you submitted enough? Are you submitted enough? Are you willing? Are you yielded enough under God? Are you yielded enough under God? The reason why I say um to become unstoppable you need God, strength and health is because strength and health play a big role in a man climbing up financially, spiritually, mentally. Your good health. Trust me, a man who is obese, it does something to his mental health. But if you go to the gym, you eat right, these things are fundamental for your growth as a man. These things are fundamental for your growth as a man. Stop with the alcohol, stop with the junk food, stop with the scrolling every day. Prioritize your physical and your mental health. Turn off your phone for a while. These things are fundamental for your growth. But if God is not in that equation, they're useless. Eventually you're gonna fall, eventually you're gonna get attacked, because your focus is not under the will of God. Your focus is not on the submission of Christ. Does that make sense? Your heart is so far from Christ. Even if you have everything figured out, I think eventually Satan will destroy you. So this is a call for us men to be very vigilant, as Peter says, to be vigilant, to be sober minded, to be vigilant. Or is it John? Sorry if I get this wrong, but I will put a Bible verse here. Are we vigilant enough? Saint Paul says, pray without ceasing, because Saint Paul understood that if your mind and your heart turns away from Jesus, even for just a moment, that can be enough to destroy you. Our job as men is to not give Satan the access into our bodies, into our minds, into our hearts, ultimately into our families, into our businesses. Are we trusting God enough for that? This is why we as men, it is our job, duty and responsibility to make sure that we do not even expose a little bit of ourselves to the devil, to these spiritual attacks that the devil might bring. This is why before strength and health, which are very vital for a man, for a man's journey, for a man's climb, for a man's ascent into financial success, spiritual success, mental success, physical success. But how yielded are you before God? How surrendered are you before God? I think if you get that right, you will become unstoppable. Once you become childlike, once you've mastered the art of childlike behavior, once you've mastered the art of running to God when you stumble, lying down before Him, crying your eyes out, that is strength. Once you have that in order, plus your physical strength, your health, your good health, you can take anything away from a man, but if he has God, his strength, and he will figure it out. He will figure it out. But are you yielded enough before God? This is why I want to pose this question to a lot of us young men. To get our priorities right is, how yielded are we before God? How yielded are we before Christ? Before the gym, before the good health, before the business, before the hustle, how yielded are we before God?